Hey guys, I am back with part 4. What if Naruto lived in the Whirlpool? And we are now on chapter 3. And so let's go to it. Naruto and his team, along with Simui's team and Gaara's team, all look at the site of the start of the tuning exams. It was the Konoha Ninja Academy building. They entered and walked up the stairs. They they saw the genjutsu, but nothing, and kept going the stairs, annoying the gathering crowd of getting trying to enter the fake entrance to the tuning exams. They reached the real entrance and entered. They saw a era of heads turned and the battle about of Ki aim armed. Amount of Ki armed right at them. They all shrugged it off and went to find a place to sit. Kankuro took a chair, as did Omui and Kari. Samui stood with her Samui stood with her arms folded. Tamari was sitting leaning against Kankuro's desk. Gaara stood there motionless as ever. Rio took to leaning against the wall so he could look at the entrance room. Mika sat down and Naruto sat on Mika's desk. Big turnout, Mika commented as she shaved the crowd. Yes, this is going to be very interesting, Rio said as he scanned the room looking at what Genin could be a challenge. Whatever, I'm going to kick your asses, Countley said, directing this mighty at Rio. Everyone sighed since they were used to hearing this permission from Komori several times. Gaara's team, along with the new Whirlpool team and Samui's team, and had hang out together since before the tuning exams began. It was a good way to meet and understand other shinobi from other villages, of course, without giving their own villages secrets. Soon after, attention turned to a conversation at the door. They watched what I looked to be fresh Genin all together. They then noticed the headbands and saw they were all Konoha shinobi. They could tell these Genin they're rookies since they didn't have the headbands looked all of the settings Genin that were in the room had. They're not serious about having all those rookies in the exams, are they? Tamari asked with a bit disbelief in her voice. They all look weak, Kankuro said in a cocky way. Cocky fashion, okay. And the dress cross-dresser and the kitty suits countering a strong look, Mika asked with a raised eyebrow. Kankuro growled at this while everyone chuckled, so Gaara gave a small smile, and he was still getting used to having emotions that weren't violent, angry, or sadness. of any sort. All those Gennis are from clans in Konoha. They want to show off their strongest since they are hosting this year, Ryo said as he looked at the group of Konoha shinobi. I suppose, but what could they know just months out of the academy? Naruto asked. Like, we didn't know much as them when we started out, Mika asked. But we did. We did know more. We learned a heck of a lot more things than them. Plus, according to what Kakashi told me, the D rank missions they go on as shinobi, we do while in the academy, Naruto said. Mika just nodded. It was true. The new Whirlpool Academy starters, they're harder and more gallant compared to Konoha's. Konoha's was quite lax. The academy and the new Whirlpool taught their students tree climbing and water walking, taijutsu, genjutsu, ninjutsu, and other shinobi skills. There was a very little what could be called classwork evolved. Though they did study history and battle tactics, they knew that if they didn't learn about the past, then they were bound to repeat it. And learning battle tactics would save your life out in the field. That's what the teachers drilled into the students. But they didn't put as much relays on history and class lessons like Konoha did. Most of it was training of some kind and produced strong shinobi and konnichis. There are 2 fangirls in the bunch, Sumui said, eyeing the pink-haired girl and the long-haired blonde shouting at other. Those things? Crap. They should be punched, Kamui said. That I agree on. They are nothing but waste. Thankfully, the new Whirlpool has made sure none have spoiled up, Ryo said. The rest agreed that fangirls were the waste and give hard-working Koinichi a bad name. The Nin watched as a glass-wearing Genin was showing cards. Ryo used a Kage brush and handled it to be a mouse and most to sneak in and listen. How did Ryo learn Kage banishment? Well, all new Whirlpool shinobi know Kage banishment. Since everyone in the village had much huge chakra reserves, that means creating a normal banish is out of the question. That's why they knew Kage banishment. Plus, it helped when doing projects and medical stuff. Celine Uzumaki never had to waste time doing paperwork with the Kage banishment doing it for her. Well, after a while, Ryo blinked and nodded. It appears that boy named Kabuto has shinobi cards that display info about other shinobi here. But the problem is he seems to have info that a normal Genin could never get their hands on, Ryo said. So, there's something we should be worried about, Naruto said. Yes, he's not at all what he appears, Ryo said. Don't all shinobi have that kind of disagreement? Mika asked. Soon the first part of the exams began. A big man walked in with tunings and jonings. The man explained the rules of the test to them all. Basically, it's the test with 10 questions. You all have 10 points. You lose points if you miss a question or given a incorrect answer. If you're catch cheating, you and your team are doomed out. And if one of your teammates lose all their points, your whole team is doomed out. In the end, your team is bond together, success together, fail together. Naruto from this side-eyed Mika and Rio. They nodded. They knew what the test was really about. As the test went on, the man's name was Kunai. Watch everyone. His eyes were on one team, the one from New Whirlpool. He watched as they made short, brief hand signs to one another. He was impressed. They developed such esteem to compared with each other, to communicate with each other. The genius they used to communicate with each other were simple and not out of the ordinary that at all. So unless you train shinobi, you won't even notice at all. But even if you did notice, it would never know what they are saying since you don't know the code with the signals. The team shows much promise than I thought. After 45 minutes, time was up. Tonikai then cracked up the heart with the teeth, with a grin. The final question, as well as changing the rules. They could choose not to answer and decline it. To try and fail in giving the correct answer, then they were banned from the tuning exams forever. Shock ripped through the room, but then I saw the new Whirlpool team as unimpressed by this. What? You can't do that, a boy with a puppy on his head shouted. I think I just did, Lizzie said with a cinematic smirk. But there are others there who took in the exams before, Sakura argued. Well, I am in the charge of the tuning the exams this year. My tests, my rules, Hideki said with a hard headache in his voice. There were some teams that cracked and left since they didn't want to fail the 10th question. I saw that the team from New Whirlpool didn't even brat an eyelash at all. As he found the pressure, he declined to make it simple with the blonde one. You maggot. Ain't you scared that you'll never be a chonin if you fail at answering the final question? Vega asked Naruto. Naruto looked up. No, sir. Since I know that my aunt would never agree to those terms, and even if she did, then there's always a field position, Naruto said. Hideki knew he couldn't break Naruto. He then looked around and saw a good number that had cleared out, but not so many as he hoped for. Soon he declared to the end the rules. He passed them all. The getting left were shocked except Naruto's team. Dika then explained about the true meaning of the test. It was to see how your gathering skills were, and then to see if you could handle the pressure of the mission exam. A mission in enemy territory with 10th and the final question was all about choice: to stay and move on or rip out. He told them that there would be a time where there would be asked to do the mission that could extremely dangerous, and you have to discuss to take it or not. The ones that stayed declined to take on the mission. The terrace was broken. Then a window broke open and a black ball flew in. Soon a banner appeared. The sexy and single Inco, I'm not gonna say her name, second producer, poster. Sorry. Oh my god, I can't even. I'm not gonna Inco. I'm not gonna say her last name because I don't know how to pronounce it. So the sexy and single Inco, second proctor. Inco, if that was a woman's real name, was disguised in a beige touch coat left open and sweatshirt, orange skids and boots, and her mouth was a dino stick. She really didn't leave much to the increment. Many of the guys in the room had several nosebleeds, while the ghost looked at Nico with disgust or heavy for size of Nico's chest and torn body. Alright, brats. No time to compide. I am here, and that means the true hell begins, she proclaimed. You're early again, Nico, Viduka said after he slammed from behind the banner that had covered him. Nico swept down, then saw the number of getting in the room. What the hell, Dick? You left this many? You gotten soft in your old age, she said. Or maybe they're a strong cup this year, commented. Whatever. By the time I'm done, the number will be knocked in half, Nico said. Meet me at training ground 44. And if you're not there in an hour, you're disqualified. Then she jumped a second window, break more glass. Then Kenning left and Dick looked at the mess. I'm not cleaning this up or paying for the windows, he grunted. Oh my god. I got scene break. Naruto team along with Gaara and Simui's made their way to training ground 44. After finding out there it was some their senses. Once there they waited for the rest to show up. When all the teams show up, Nico began her introduction. Alright, maggots. Before me is training ground 44, or what we Konoha call the forest of death, Nico said. The add effects of when animals screaming and growling add to its demonic function. This what you need to do. This is a 5-day survival test. You will enter the gate that has been assigned to you with one school, either the heaven or earth one, Inko said, holding out both scrolls. What you need to do is find the other team and take their scroll, not knowing if they are holding the other scroll you so desperately needed. When you get both scrolls, you go to the tower located in the center of the forest. Don't open them at all. There was a grunt of fear. within the group of Genin. Nico grunted at the field. Nico glared at the fear she was inspiring. What happens if we do? A random Genin asked. Nico just agreed in a thematic fashion that scared the Genin, letting them know that bad things would happen if they opened the schools. Though Naruto looked bored, Nico didn't like being ignored. She hunted a kunai at Naruto, but Naruto sensed this and used a kawoi to get away. Then Iko appeared behind Naruto. He wasn't there, so she was actually hugging a very confused and private Gaara. Complex Gaara. Hey, what the? Nico asked, seeing she wasn't at all at her target. Get comfy with a Sannin. I thought there was no function in the fearsome in the exams, Naruto said, chuckling his tone. She was with Tamari and Kokoro, though closer to Tamari. He even winked at her. This made Tamari blush. Hey, quick moves, brat. But can you split out of everything to get info? Nico asked. Depends on the solution it has proctor, Naruto said. A Gasnin snuck up Inko and handed her back her kunai. She took it and returned in front, and Gaara and Naruto returned their several teams. Why did you do that to Gaara? Mika asked Naruto after he returned to her in Rio. Well, I didn't want to get cut, and I thought Gaara should get some experience in different kinds of hugs. I'm sure he enjoyed it very much, Naruto said. Oh my god, Naruto. Okay, I think he's still confused, but Kanko looks quite jealous, Rio said. If he didn't wear makeup and that kitty suit, then I might have switched with him. But Gaara is more needed of it, Naruto said. Gaara had red cheeks as he tried to figure out how Iko's hug was different from Tamari's and how they were similar. Kanko was grunted about how lucky Gaara was, and Tamari liked. She wanted to whack Kanko with her fan for being a pervert. Oh god. Perverted, sorry. I mean perverted. Soon their attention returned up front. Oh, before we begin the test, you all need to sign these, Inko said, holding up a piece of paper. What is that? A random Genin asked. Oh, just stating that if you die in the forest, Konoha isn't held responsible, Inko said, Kazuto with a demonic smile on her face. Sorry. Mark grunted, we're ahead at this. Naruto, Mika, Rio signed their forms and they got their scroll. They talked to Gaara's and Simui's team and made a terror alliance in the forest. Soon they found their grunt and wanted the signal. Wait the signal. The second test begins now. Breaks in. Naruto, Mika, and Rio raced through the woods. They finally stopped and looked at each other for a plan. Well, Rio, this is your territory. What do you think we should do? Naruto asked. Rio stopped for a moment. We already got a target planted on our back from the stood before. So it's not going to be long for a team to come after us. So we should sit and wait for now, he said. Right. Mika, let us know. Sorry. Right. Mika, let us know if we got any incoming, Naruto said. Mika nodded. It didn't take too long and a team of waterfall came in and they attacked. But Naruto, Mika, and Rio took them out easily. They tied them up and took their scroll. Huh? On the first try, I wasn't exciting that. I was not expecting that, Naruto said as he handed Mika the Earth Scroll. They had start with a Heaven Scroll. It can happen, but I think we can chuck this up to your on-carry ability to have good luck, Naruto, Mika said. I guess, Naruto said with a sunk. Oh my god. Come on, let's head to the tower, Rio said. They took off. When they felt a wave of chocolate, they stopped. You feel that? Rio asked. Yeah, that was some of fullest chakra I never felt, Mika said. I didn't like it. No getting whatsoever should or can have that much chakra. It be that it for that foe, Naruto said. What about you? Mika asked. I and 8 others are in abilities, Naruto said. Moralized, Naruto said. Let's check it out, but we should be careful, Rio said. They all agreed. Break scene. It took a while to find the source since it soon turned dark and they had to fight a few other teams as well, but they finally found the source. What they found was the pink-haired girl from Wave. She was fighting as well, trying to fight off a Genin team by herself. They wasn't sure where her team was, but knew this was serious before they could leap to and help. A boy in green also appeared. Those can't be real, can they? Naruto asked as he saw the size of the eyebrows on the boy head. Oh my god, Naruto. Okay. I haven't a clue, Mika said, shocked. He doesn't have much in the argument, Rio said. Rio complimented that the boy green jumpsuit. They watched the fight till more Konoha Genin appeared. They declined to jump in and help out. Troublesome? What are you doing here? A lazy, pink-shaped haired boy asked. Easy. We are not here to attack you, Rio said. Mika then shuffled. Naruto saw this. Mika? He asked. That full chakra is active, Mika said. Soon Sasuke Uchiha emerged covered in a dark aura. His Sharingan was activated since it was triggered when he received his curse mark. This power, it feels so great. I must test it, he said with a crazed tone. He then rushed in the ground, grumbled one of the four Nin, and pulled both arms out. The guy screeched, "Scouts!" Before he could do more, Naruto stepped in. "Stop that," he said. You'll be my next test," Sasuke said in his power-crazed voice. He then charged in. Naruto dodged Sasuke's attacks. He saw Rio ready to jump in. "Stay off this, Rio. I got this," he called. Rio nodded and as he within his katana, but kept his head on it just in case. All Konoha getting watched as Naruto dodged all Sasuke's attacks with senses, and it was amazing since Sasuke was going in most getting speed and Naruto was easily keeping up in the tree. Two figures watch. Mika, bring it on the lightning, Naruto called out. Mika nodded as she pulled something out of her pouch. She waved it with a kunai and threw it. As soon as it got close to Sasuke, he tried to dodge it, but that when it happened, a bolt of lightning illuminated in the entrance aura. It built everyone motionly. When everyone was able to see, they saw Sasuke on the ground in pain, clutching his eyes. Naruto, Mika, and Ryo were fine as they shouted themselves before the flash. What was that? A round boy asked as he kept blinking to get his sight back. A flash tag. We had to do something, Naruto said. Mika walked over and hit Sasuke in the neck as she pressure point to knock him out. Mika walked over and hit Sasuke in the neck at the pressure point to knock him out. She then saw something else that made her worry. It was a mark on the base of Sasuke's neck. That was their flow chakra was coming from. She stood up and turned to the pink-haired girl. Who did this? She asked. Why should we tell you? The pink-haired girl asked. Again, who did this? Mika said, pointing at Sasuke's neck. It was Orochimaru. He came at us and attacked us. A boy with black hair and a fake smile said, "Sai!" The pink-haired girl screamed. Mika ignored the scream and looked up at the trees in complete discussion. You can come down now," she said. The two figures jumped down. They were a boy and a girl. Ryo got a good look at the girl and nodded. He walked over. "Are you Tenten?" he asked. "I am. Who are you?" the girl named Tenten asked. "My name is Ryo Kisagai. I'm your cousin," Ryo said. Tenten looked shocked. "Cousin?" she asked. "Yes. You are Tenten Kisagai of the Kisagai clan. Your mother was a member of the clan in Fort Ikuniichi, and it seems she has passed those talents on to her daughter," Ryo said. Tenten, grab Lee and let's go," the boy ordered. "Hold your tone, Hyuga. This is a clan business," Ryo said, grunting at the Hyuga. The Hyuga glared at Ryo, but then huffed and went to drag his teammate away. I have a question for you. Would you care to rejoin our clan?" Ryo asked. "Rejoin?" Tenten asked. "Your mother left when she was married. When she married your father. We are asked you to come back," Ryo said. "My father," Tenten said. "He could come too if he wants. He can open up his shop in the new Whirlpool. The Kisagai clan would endorse it," Ryo said. Tenten was unsure of what to do. She wanted to, since she learned about her clan, since she never thought she was a part of one, but she was a Konoha nin and had a loyalty to the village. "You shouldn't need to decide now. Take this," Ryo said as he pulled out a scroll and handed it to Tenten. "What is this?" Tenten asked. "Just some history about our clan and about your mother," Rio said. Tenten smiled and thanked Rio, then left with her team. She didn't know too much about her mother, only what her dad told her. This should give her a better picture of her mother. Rio walked back to his team. "So she's your cousin?" Naruto asked. Rio nodded. "She's cute," Naruto complimented. Rio looked up, shocked, and was about to say something. "Take it easy, Rio. Just a compliment on her minds, that's all. No need to get protective," Naruto said. Rio just nodded. "Now, where's your scroll?" Naruto asked forgiving Genin team. "Why should we tell you?" the mummy-looking one asked. "Well, if you haven't noticed, you're outnumbered and your teammate is injured. You didn't have many options," Naruto said. The mummy-looking Genin tossed out his scroll. "Here, take it." He then left with the rest of his team. Naruto picked up the scroll and tossed to the pink-haired goat. "Here, take it. We already got ours," he said. "What should we?" the pink-haired goat asked. "Look, I just told you. You really need to listen. Come on, let's go," Naruto said, then lead his team out. This left the rest of Konoha Genin wondering who Naruto really was. Scene break. Naruto's team got to the tower and went inside. They saw an inscription in the wall. "What does that mean?" Naruto asked. "Let's open the scroll," Mika adjusted. They had no better option to do so. They figured out was a summoning scroll pretty big, and Hideko appeared with a smile. "Congratulations! You guys thought I was expecting you sooner," he said. "Got a bit sidetracked," Naruto said. "Oh?" Hideko said. "Yeah, need to talk to the old man. It's serious," Naruto said serenely. Hideko just nodded, though he was unsure if he could take them up to see the Hokage. "I can take them if you like." Hideko turned to find the Ambu wearing a cat mask. "Nico," Naruto shouted happily. "Hello, Naruto. It's nice to see you again," Nico said, smiling behind her mask. Naruto knew Nico since she was one of the other few Ambu along with Kakashi who watched over him then he was a kid. Nico then lead them to the Hokage's Territorial Office up front in the Forest of Death. "Ah, Naruto, you and your team made it. I'm glad," Hiruzen said with a smile. "Yeah, old man, but we got problems," Naruto said. "Oh?" Hiruzen asked cautiously. "Yeah, Orochimaru placed a strange seal on the Chiha. It leaks a flow of chakra. It needs to be taken care of right away." "It needs to be taken care of right away," Mika said. Hiruzen looked and Givden sighed. "Jiraiya isn't in the village, and he's the only seal master we have," he said. "You got us, old man. Mika, Rio, and I can take care of it, and Hideko can help us too," Naruto said. "Can you handle something like this? He wasn't asked seriously. "Lord Hokage, we're experienced when it comes to flint jutsu. We can do it with a guard of our sensei," Rio said firmly. Mika nodded. Who was inside and looked at Hideko. "If my team says they could do it, they could do it," he said. Hiruzen nodded. Scene break. When Team 7 arrived to the tower, Sasuke was brought in the place in the infirmary. Kakashi was there as well as Hiruzen. They watched as the new Whirlpool team worked. Technically, they catch spears of their talk, but didn't understand a thing since this was way above their heads when it comes to flame jutsu. Soon the new Whirlpool team found a way. They had Uchiha placed in a circle. They drew on the floor and began working. It took a lot of effort and power, but they did it. A frame of shake out of Sasuke. A snake out of Sasuke was all they saw. Then it was finished. Mika checked Uchiha's pulse. He is fine, she said. Yeah, the seal is on and stable, Naruto said. What exactly did you do? Kakashi said. Well, we first thought we could remove it, but we didn't know enough about the seal to do that. In fear of setting off any fail-safers, they're too great. So we instead created a new seal over it. One of the first lesson in flame jutsu is never mess up with a seal you unfamiliar with, Udeku said. The new Whirlpool team nodded at this. What kind of seal? Hiruzen said. It's a very Shinobu consummate seal. We created it from search using most of Naruto's ideas, Ryo said. Kakashi and Hiruzen looked at Naruto. In the new Whirlpool, Naruto is known a prodigy. In the new Whirlpool, Naruto is known as a prodigy in flame jutsu. He created many new seals as well. He made old seals better and stronger, Mika said. Naruto rubbed the back of his head in embarrassment. Anyways, the seal used a small amount of his own chakra. The seal used a small amount of his own chakra to settle itself. Not amount we could place several of traps on the seal just in case there's trouble or someone tries to remove the seal, Hideki said. We also found a command of the seal that leaks into the Uchiha's Pacific. We tried to cut it off, but not sure if we were successful, so you must be careful what you teach him, since it might set him off in the way. He's already on the path for revenge, wanted to kill his brother, and any jutsu that would help him could be the spark, Mika said. She was the most informed on human impunity as well as possibly being a medic nin. She needed to be well versed in both areas. Hiruzen knew this by reading her file along with the rest of the New World Team's file. Kakashi just went with a sense it seemed Hiruzen trusted them. Very well. Well, very well. Thank you for all your help, Hiruzen said. Hideku's team bowed then left. Scene break. Soon the 5 days were up. All teams that had made it through were starting aiming for what was to come. There. Naruto was happy to see Sumui's team as well as Gawa's team. Soon the Hokage stood and made a speech about how the Chuninja were put in place to enter the constant wars the village had with each other. He then went on saying that since there was so many there that needed to be per limbs. What? Why? Genny asked. Like I said, there are too many there's too many controversies here. The finals will have many discards. They're from all over. We can't microize their time, Huizhen said. So we'll be having a party while your numbers are down. How now? A long-haired blonde asked. Yes, Huizhen said. Before the plan could begin, a shinobi appeared. Excuse me, Lord Hokage. But I believe it's my turn to take over the tuning exams, the shinobi said. Miko forward. Someone really needs to take a look at that, she said. They found out their matches would be set up by a random dude to elect bond that electric the board that enters out of wall. Also, a last call was made for those who wanted to drop out. Only one who did so was the first match was the Chiha and the other Konhan Nin. Everyone else moved basically to watch. The match went on. The Chiha won by using more that looked familiar to something. That looks quite familiar. I think his Sharingan copies someone's formic and move from the Konkuro Conan style, Hideko said. The two epochs wearing shinobi locked on. One was unhappy, measured about how youthful it was, while the other forward that his move was copied. He didn't know that Sasuke expired on him. He was trained one day before the five were up. The matches went on, and some were interesting and others were boring. The fight between the pink-haired girl and the long blonde was just pathetic. They were total disgraced to all Konoichis. Next were the match between Tenten and Temari. Rio catch Temari as she go down. If you beat her, don't be cruel. She's my cousin, she said. Temari nodded. The match went quick. Temari blew away all Tenten's objects and even when Tenten threw out her unlimited taijutsu, she was beaten. Temari knocked Tenten out with a Wenjutsu. Tenten was hit hard and her back hit the wall, making her lose her breath and unconscious. But no permanent damage done. The proctor called the match and Temari won. She came back up and Rio thanked her for not hurting Tenten too badly. The next match was Rio and Kunai. Kunai was excited about this. Alright, this time to beat his ass, Kunai shouted. It's not cool to overconfident, Kunai. Sumui said. Whatever, I got this one, Kumari said with confident smirk. Both soon were down in the arena. The proster started the match and Rio and Kunai looked at each other. So how do you want this to start? So how do you want to start this? Rio asked. Kunai pulled out her sword and Rio sighed. He pulled out his own katana and best of speed of they clashed their blades, catching metal up upon metal. That sound echoes into the room as they fight. Up on the Kokonori, the Jonin were shocked at seeing the speed and efficiency Ryo and Kunai were fighting at. A bared Jonin jaw dropped, letting the cartridge and he had in his mouth fall on the floor. the red-eyed Jonin leaned forward to watch the spar. Kakashi had closed his book and watched the fight with such interest. The Genin were just surprised and shocked at the fight. The round boy that dropped his bag of chips to the lazy boy was now wide awake and hoping he didn't face either one since they are too troublesome. The fangirl were in total shock at what they seen. The Uchiha was trying to copy what he was seeing with his Sharingan, but getting nothing for value for Genjutsu for him instantly. Sorry, I messed that up. They were going faster than his Sharingan could copy, and since he didn't know many Kenjutsu, this was useless to him anyways. The only teams not surprised were the new Whirlpool team and the Como team, except for their temporary sensei, Daoi. He was shocked how fast Ryo and Kone was going. Even the Sand team was surprised seeing this. Kankuro mumbled that they were nuts. Gara watched with impressed face, and Tamari knew she had to up her game if she faced either Kanai or Ryo in the next round. The pastor was surprised to see such a Genjutsu match. He warmed his heart to see that these two Genin were skilled in swordplay. Soon the Kenjutsu match ended and Kanai and Ryo jumped away breathing hardly slightly. "You got him better," Ryo complimented. "You bet I did. I trained long and hard so I could beat you," Kana said. She then performed so hand sign and feared of lightning jutsu. Ryo struck his sword out, charging the lightning jutsu, and the jutsu went in his sword through him and shoot out 2 fingers out on the other side harmlessly. Everyone on the balcony was shocked. Such a display. "What? How could he do that?" the pink hair asked loudly. "Simple. Ryo used his sword like a lightning rod. He pulled the jutsu on and as he passed through his body, he just controlled himself in the jutsu so it would flow out of his fingers and out of him without harm," Mika said. "But how?" the long-haired blonde asked in more troubled tone. "Ryo has worked on this tentatively for a long time. He was saving it for when the fight lightning jutsu users. He can handle most lightning jutsus, but the stronger they are, then they will affect them. One kunai used wasn't really strong at all, so Ryo is fine," Naruto said. "That is amazing technique he used and would be quite useful," Kakashi complimented. The Uchiha looked unhappy that he couldn't copy this. The fight below continued, and finally Ryo knocked Kunta with a butt of his katana. He catch her before she fell. The pulsar called the match, and Ryo carried Kimura up to be bandaged by Mika. Ryo carried Kimura up to be treated by Mika. The next match came up, and it was Naruto facing a boy named Kiba. I guess Yahoo! This match will be piece of cake. The Inzuku crowd. I'd be careful, Kiba. We've seen what one of his teammates can do, so it's best not to estimate him, the red-eyed Jonin declared to her student. Come on, Kunai-sensei, I showed him who the upper dog, Kiba boasted. Are you talking, or are you through talking, or should we place out a tea and cakes for you continue grumping? Naruto asked, already on the down in the arena. Kiba was pissed and let down with his partner Akamaru. Stay out of this, Akamaru. I can handle him all by myself, Kiba said cockily. Kunai sighed as she placed her hand on her face. She warned him not to estimate Naruto, but it looked like it went into one ear and then out of another. Well, Inuzuka, if you think you can take me, then take me. Unless you all talk, which right now you seem to be, Naruto said calmly. Kiba rushed forward, angry, and started throwing punches and claws at Naruto. Naruto would easily sidestep each move. This increased Kiba's fencing skills till Naruto dodged out of the way and used his shuriken. What Kiba didn't see, or any of the Genin thought the Jonin spotted as well as Naruto's teammate and sensei. Naruto dropped a seal on the ground. It exploded and Kiba went flying back. He hit the wall and his ears are ringing. Kiba! Kunai shouted. Kiba's head was ringing. He couldn't hear a thing. His vision was blurry out. All he could hear was ringing sound. He looked up and was a bit disappointed. He got up, swiping he tried to call Kamaru, but he couldn't, even his own voice or his partner's. When his vision came back, he saw Kamaru being pinned by a tiger cub the size of a lion's cat. Kamaru! Kiba shouted. He could now hear, but he didn't realize that as he was focused on his partner. Oh man, him. He was going to interfere after you told him to stay out the fight. So I just summoned one of the tiger cubs to keep the puppy out of the fight, Naruto said. Kiba turned to Naruto and he saw red. He charged at Naruto. Naruto dodged the shake, then grabbed Kiba's waist and pulled it between Kiba's back and Kiba twice in pain, and tried to throw a elbow with his other arm. Naruto catched that and pulled that arm back. He then slammed Kiba onto the ground and pinned both Kiba's arms with his knees as he put out a kunai. He wanted Kiba's head up, swept Kiba's head up, and placed a kunai at Kiba's neck. Winner, Naruto Uzumaki, the Potter said. Naruto got up and the tiger cub disappeared. Seeing the match was over, he walked back up to his team, with Kiba following unhappily. Very clever. Naruto barely showed anything in the match. it was leaving whoever will fight him in the finals in bad sense they don't know what Naruto can really do, Kakashi complimented. That's Naruto. He's very skilled shinobi, Hideku said proudly. Kakashi had to agree with that. The next match was Mika facing off against a waterfall nin. Mika made a quick work against him. She cut him up with her Temo shuttle cuts that hurt a lot, then knocked him out with two Snowborn needles to the neck. Kakashi Sensei, that's the same thing that Hakugo did in the wave, the pink-haired girl shouted. It was, Kakashi said. Well, what do you expect? Haku and Mika trained together, so Mika was bound to pick up a few things from Haku, Naruto said. The next match was Hyuga versus Hyuga. It was a horrible match. The boy Hyuga, terrible. The Hyuga boy belayed the girls, breaking whatever confidence she had. Since Naruto and Ryo it seems the two were family, and family should never treat each other this way. Mika held back both Naruto and Ryo from jumping down and dealing with the ground Hyuga. The match ended and Mika went to help the Hyuga. Yo. Leave or I smash you, Gara said. Give up or I smash you. Why is that? Why did he? I don't know. Lee tried to get up, but the sand bonds were too strong for him to break. Gara hadn't estimated Lee at all. After seeing Lee's build, he fighting used taijutsu mostly. He had to strengthen his sand to keep the boy tied up. Finally, Lee competent unable to move. After that, the Raymond Genning went to the floor pick the numbers. The match were then selected. Ryo Kazunai versus Neji Hyuga. Shikamaru Nara versus Tamari. Mika Uzumaki. Koso Tuna? I don't know. Shino Uzumato? Shino versus Kankuro. Gawa versus Shimuri. And finally, Sasuke Uchiha versus Naruto Uzumaki. I wanted to congratulate all those who will be upcoming as well as those who made it this far. The finals will be in a month, he was said. Why a month? Naruto asked. So you can all prepare and train for your match. Plus there will be a lot of disgusting coming to see the finals. And it takes time for them at all to get here. Huzen said, if this a tournament, then does that mean only one of us will become a Chunin? Shikamaru asked. No, you will all be watched and nurtured by Shinobi during the finals, and depends on how you do. No matter if you win or lose will depend this mine if you make Chunin, Huzen said. After they were dismissed to train for a month. After that, they were dismissed to train for a month. Hideku looked at his team. They were all in the finals and he was very proud, but this left him with a problem. He couldn't really train all three at once, but lucky his team knew this and come up with a solution. Hideko-sensei, I will be training alone for my match, Ryo said. Think you can beat the Hyuga yourself? Hideko asked. His tone wasn't light with any mouth, but pounded with curiously instead. No, not by myself, but I will ask my clan for help. I'm sure they know of some ways to beat a Hyuga, Ryo said. Hideko nodded. I decided you training Hideko. Naruto needs you more help since he's facing the Uchiha. I think he can train against my opponent without much help, Mika said without a hint of regretment in her. Hideko nodded, and he knew that Naruto would most of his team in training to fight the Uchiha. Well then, Naruto, I guess that leaves you and me. I need to train you good to up against the Uchiha. He may be an opponent in all, but his clan is powerful, and you need to know how to face against a Sharingan, he said. Naruto nodded, really ready for whatever Hideko was about to dash out. Good to see you two in a month. Good, see you two in a month, Hideko said, looking at his other two students. They bowed and left, leaving Naruto and Hideko. Break scene. I think that this is where I'm going to end it. So, this is where I'm going to end it. And yeah. So, if you guys like this, drop a like and subscribe. And I will see you guys in the next part. See ya. Bye bye.